Welcome into the Inside the Huddle with Coach Tigh, Compton, Gary Justice with the Justice Broadcasting Network, Episode 4. And, Coach, we're moving right along in the season.
Yeah, absolutely. No, we're 5 games in and got several more to go this month. So we're going to be over a third of the way through by the time the month's over with. So it's quick moving right now.
Coach, you talked about the challenges. Again, everybody in the AAC is doing this. You get to play a lot of conference games before Thanksgiving, but you and your team has taken on it as part of the challenge, and 2 big wins this past weekend at home, Coach.
Yeah, for sure. It was really good to be back home and especially after all the travel we had to start the year, and it was good to get 2 home wins here. We had 2 great crowds here, and good to see some guys get back on the right track individually, and see our team get back on the right track collectively.
And, Coach, before we talk about the team, I'd like to definitely congratulate you. Win 100 against
Thank
CIU
you.
on Saturday. What's that mean to you, Coach?
Yeah, it means a lot. We knew we were getting close, and I actually forgot all about it. Just in the hustle and bustle of the start of the year, forgot about it 100% until after the game, and just was an opportunity for me to take the weekend to kind of reflect on all those wins, the 100 wins, and I think it's 155 so far, and just all the people and the players that have impacted that and come through and helped us achieve that, all the staff members that have come and gone and helped us get to that goal, and the guys that are still here playing in the uniform now and in the program now that or have been, several of those guys have been a part of a lot of those wins, and certainly the biggest wins. So just a testament to the kind of players that we've had, and a testament to the kind of staff that I've had working alongside of me.
And, Coach, definitely besides just what you've done on the court and the successes that you've had at the University of Pikeville, just your involvement inside the community on campus, definitely appreciate your leadership throughout the region, but also a part of Bear Nation as well, Coach.
It's important to us. We have a lot of guys from what we consider to be Central Appalachia, certainly even more from what we would consider to be Appalachia, and having a positive impact all around is really important, and not just impacting our local community here in Pikeville and Pike County, but the surrounding community, the surrounding region that so many of our guys come from. It's really important for us to be able to find ways of impacting those communities as well. And again, just it's great to be able to think back on an accomplishment like winning your first 100 games and be able to do it with so many guys that have stuck around and been part of the program for so long and decided to stay here close to home and help us achieve some of those goals.
But, Coach, you get what it is about. It's not just about the sport of basketball. I can't remember the exact statistic that you gave me, but you mentioned on one of the episodes that anybody who played 4 years, they've graduated. Can you touch on that? I butchered that stat. But
yeah, everybody that's finished their eligibility with us, everybody that's finished their eligibility with us in the time that I've been the head coach here has graduated. We've never, even dating back to when I first started with Coach Wells in 2009, we've never had a 4-year player come through and finish their career here with us through 4 years and not graduate. So that's something that we certainly use recruiting and something we're very boastful about and something we're very proud of. And, just is not just a testament to our program, but it's a testament to the guys and their commitment to education. And that's a big piece of what we try to find in recruiting is this degree-seeking students that, can find value in things outside of just the court here.
You get it. So many times that I feel folks, they focus on the basketball side or the sport play maybe, and I love that when coaches have passion about the sport they coach, but it's really using these 4 years to springboard you into the next 40. As we talked about, but definitely going back. Congratulations on the first,
Thank you. I appreciate
the
that.
first of hopefully many more wins too, Coach.
We'll see. I hope that we can certainly win more than we lose. So hopefully we can keep it going.
So, Coach, let's like to divide this up into 3 segments, and I'm really excited about our third segment. Our first 2 segments. First segment, I'd love for us to touch on this past week, the 2 home games against the Battle of the Rams. They had Bluefield on Wednesday and then CIU on Saturday. The second section, I'd love for us to maybe preview the week a little bit, kind of what the Bears are doing well and what the Bears need to improve on. Then our third section, we got a couple of guests who are right here, Coach, a couple of the seniors who are big-time talkers on the team, L.A. Walker and Brad Bunch. Should be a fun episode, Coach.
Absolutely. No, it's going to be good to see those guys come up and put the headsets on and hear some of their answers to some things and get them here in front of the camera.
Definitely, I'm excited. Definitely, I want to say with you on camera, I appreciate your willingness to do the Inside
Sure.
the Huddle, Todd Compton, just to give a little bit more exposure to the program, but also to some more of our guys as well.
No,
Coach.
absolutely. No, we want to. It's not just about me. We want to showcase. We want to showcase our program. We want to showcase our guys, and give them the opportunity and notoriety that they deserve.
Well, Coach, let's take a look at some highlights from our first ball game when we played Bluefield on Wednesday. The Bears pulled out 87-80 victory. Always good, Coach, to think of a home victory and against Bluefield. A little slower start for the Bears on the day as you was down 33-20 in that first half, and then really closed on the first half on 11-2 run to close with 10-2 in the going into halftime in the second half, come out and pulled out an 87-80 victory.
Yeah, we weren't very pleased with the start that we had. We didn't have a great week of preparation leading up to that game, actually, so we kind of knew that we'd been flat, and we're going to try to flip the switch a little bit on game day, and that's usually never a good sign, never a good thing. But I think it was the first. It was 12 and a half minutes into the game, I think maybe, when we were down by 13, and from that point forward, I think we outscored them 67-47. Played much better on both ends of the floor, and again had an opportunity to kind of stretch away there in the second half, and they clawed back and maybe even went ahead by one. I think they're late in the game before we were able to kind of put a final run together. But that's a Bluefield team that's under new leadership. Coach Cooper's doing a very good job with his guys. He's got some talent that returns, some new guys that he's brought in, and they hadn't played particularly well in their previous games leading up to that one. So we knew that a couple of those guys were due, and certainly came out and played a really efficient game against us.
Coach, a big game from the senior Kean Warwick, 23 points, 10 assists, and really thought Kean took over late, Coach, and was able to make some big buckets, but also took advantage of getting to the free throw line.
Yeah, that's kind of been our team's MO all year long, is just trying to keep teams off the line and getting to the line ourselves. And, Kean stepped up and made a ton of free throws there down the stretch and really just commanded the ball and made great decisions and kind of helped get our guys where they needed to be and position them where we needed them to be down the stretch. So, we ask a lot of him. We ask certainly a lot of him as a floor general. We ask a lot of him defensively, but, we have a lot of faith in him as a closer, and he stepped up and proved us right that night.
Yeah, and that was the home opener for the Bears as they picked up the 87-80 victory. And coaches, you talked about that last 6 minutes of the first half, a solid second half. Very efficient from the field as far as shooting the basketball, capitalizing on opportunities from the free throw line. But defensively late, Coach, I thought that the team really turned up the pressure and executed on the defensive end.
Yeah, we've got to do a little better job of making teams just breaking rhythms and making teams uncomfortable. I thought that Bluefield continued the string of teams just making incredibly tough shots. We forced them into the areas that we hoped to force them to, and they were able to perform and rise up and hit tough shots when they really needed them. And um, we got to do a better job of breaking some of those guys' rhythms, making some of those mid-range shots a little bit tougher, and just we call them do more opportunities. Guys find a little bit more opportunity when they're off the ball to impact the play, and instead of just kind of standing where they are in their zone. So we're getting better at that. I think we were better in that game than we were the game before and the game before that. So it's certainly a learning process for us, but we're getting there, and as long as we can keep improving, I think we'll be okay.
And coach, again, Bluefield's a scrappy bunch. They have a really good guard, a second team All AAC member last year, Elijah Watt. Excuse me, the McDonald inside, DJ McDonald. He's an impressive. Bluefield's going to beat a lot of people in the AAC this year.
Yeah,
Coach.
McDonald has played really well all year long. As kind of their leader statistically so far. White, being a returner, has always given us fits in all the games that we played against him, but is all conference guard and had only made 5 shots leading up to our game, which he I think went 8 for 13 or 8 for 14 and had a really good night. So we knew he was going to come out of that funk at some point in time. We certainly hoped that we were going to be able to contain him a little bit more than we did, but certainly happy that we were able to do enough to get a win.
And then, Coach, as then you turn around and on Saturday you take on CIU, and preseason picked second or third, depending on which poll you look in the AAC. A very tough opponent. Coach Tony Stockman does a good job down there. A lot of talented players for the CIU Rams as well. Coach.
Yeah, Will Kelly is a returning guard for them, who's one of the best players in the league, certainly returning players in the league, and they've got a very dangerous group of guards. And Johnny Weissong, who started at the 4 for them, has really upped his game this year as well. So we knew they always play us tough here. Every game that we've ever played against CIU has been really, really neck and neck and really, really difficult. So we knew that we were going to be up for a challenge no matter when we played them, no matter where we played them.
Yeah, a big double-double from Brad Bunch. We're talking about him, 15 points and 10 rebounds. Zion Blevins, a redshirt freshman, 14 points, 5 rebounds as well, doing a good job in the post. And Coach, you guys just shooting the basketball extremely well on Saturday.
Yeah, I came out, made 11 threes in the first half, only 5 twos, I think, 4 twos maybe. But came out on fire, and that was really nice to see. Shooting the basketball has been something that has been difficult for us, kind of elusive for us so far this year. And, I don't think we're sitting here with a 3-2 record if we just are average shooting the basketball in comparison to what we normally can. But we got the lid off the basket a little bit. They're late against Bluefield, continued that run over into the Columbia game, and certainly needed every one of them. But it was really good to see our guys enjoying it, seeing our guys' confidence come back, and seeing the ball go through the basket usually makes everything a little bit easier when the ball goes through the basket.
And, Coach, regarding you talk about the winning the games you're supposed to win your home games, how, maybe a silly question, though, but you start off the year 2-0, especially with one of those wins being one of those top 3 teams who were picked in preseason. How important was that for your ball club to start 2-0 at home, Coach?
Yeah, huge. We were 2-2 going into I guess 1-2 going into the Bluefield game, staring at a really difficult start in the face. Really, we challenged our group with the schedule that we put together, and knew that it was a possibility for us to take a few lumps early, but still be in a position to be able to come out on top at the end. And the toughest thing during those kinds of times and during those kinds of stretches with your schedule is just trying to keep morale up and trying to make sure everyone's seeing the big picture and not being so consumed with the most recent result. But starting 2-0 in the league and getting 2 home wins, you're not going to be able to win this league without winning your home games. And that was extremely huge for us. And especially over a team like Columbia International that we know is going to be right there in the thick of it at the end. And it is a home game that we absolutely have to win if we have any kind of aspiration to win the league.
Coach, regarding first 2 home games, you pick up those wins, go over conference opponents, which is huge. I know last week you talked about wanting to see if your team be able to make baskets a little bit easier. You scored 87 points on Wednesday, you scored 81 points on Saturday. The 3-point shot was going in on Saturday as well. What's your overall thoughts from the 2 games combined, Coach?
Yeah, I think we're a very talented offensive group. We're turning the ball over at an alarming rate at this point, and several of those turnovers are unforced turnovers or just bonehead decisions that we make as a group. And we've got to make sure that we're doing a better job of valuing each possession, taking care of the basketball, making more sound decisions. Going for the home run less and just hitting the single a little bit more and making the easy play. And that's something we've been really emphasizing the last several days in practice, and something we're drilling and working on advantage, disadvantage kind of scenarios. And I think the results are coming with those things. I think our guys' confidence are coming, with those things. And we just got to continue making the easy play and let the talent speak for itself. And putting the ball in the basket is something that the majority of our guys are really talented in doing.
So, Coach, going in this week, you will be traveling out to Knoxville and to take on Johnson University, another one of those top three teams in the league, on the road on Wednesday, and then they'll follow up with the fourth conference game this Saturday as you travel to Montreat. What do the Bears need to continue doing, Coach, and what do the Bears need to improve to come out of this week 2-0?
Yeah, Johnson's going to be a really, really tough game. They got several first place votes in our league in the preseason poll, and we're receiving votes nationally in the first preseason coaches poll, NAIA wise, and return a really, really good player and Mason Lockhart and a great coaching staff. So we know that it's going to be a tough test, especially on the road. They're off to an 0-3 start, but they've played 3 nationally ranked opponents and have had over a week to kind of sit and simmer on that third loss and prepare for us. So we know that we're facing a little bit of an uphill battle there, but it should be a good time. Should be a great challenge for us to see where we're at. We need to put the ball in the basket. We need to continue scoring. I think, like I said, everything just becomes easier when you're putting the ball in the basket consistently. And offensive rebounds, we've got to minimize offensive rebounds for our opponent just a little bit. We had a few second half against West Virginia Tech that we weren't really happy with our performance. We did well against Huntington and Florida Memorial. Did well late against Bluefield, and we're really not pleased with our effort on the glass against Columbia International. I think we finished tied in the rebound margin, total rebound margin, but we gave up 18 offensive rebounds, and then also take care of the ball. 21 turnovers against Columbia International is way too many. We've averaged over 5 years of being the head coach, 5+ years here as being the head coach. We've only averaged 11 per game as a program, and we're under 11. We were in the 10 area last year. So cutting those turnovers down significantly, and keeping we're in the zone. We're not going to keep everybody off the offensive glass, but we've got to try to keep teams at bay a little bit more than what we have.
Well, definitely, we're not going to look towards Saturday yet, but definitely on Wednesday it's going to be important to keep Lockhart off the glass, and that's much easier said than done. You talked about a talented team out of Knoxville, but I'm a little biased towards the Bears, but I like our club, I like our players, and I know our coaching staff had the privilege of sitting in on the scout today and kind of the film breakdown, and just totally impressed with you and your staff, Coach, and also just the attentiveness of all the players. They're locked in. I think they're ready to go this week, Coach.
Yeah, they want to get better. They understand that they've not been playing to the level of our expectation or their expectation. They know that they're capable of more than what we've done so far, and they've been very diligent in their work. They've been putting their head down and just trusting the process and working extremely hard to try to kind of find their rhythms and do the things that we feel like we need to do to shore up some different areas. But moving on to Montreat there before we go, Montreat's playing really, really well. They've had a relatively close game on the road at Freed Hardeman. They took Georgia Gwinnett to the wire, scoring over 100 points. Had the offensive player of the week this week, averaging around 25 points a game. So they've been playing extremely well. Coach Behringer does a really good job there, and it's going to be a unique situation. Like no fans allowed at the game at Montreat, so it's just going to be the teams in there, kind of COVID style, and it's going to be a very unique experience for us to go down there and play next weekend.
And then also you talked about the reason for it is because we're still recovering from the flood.
Yeah, their gymnasium, their building was totally destroyed with the flooding there in Asheville. And last year they played their final 2 games in there under a special kind of permit that allowed some temporary orders to let people come in and watch. But now they're continuing to fix everything. They've got the gym fixed, but there's a basement area, there's office areas, that kind of thing that they're having to continue to work on. And during the process of that work, there are some significant capacity limits that are in play. So no outside fans, no home fans, no students, no faculty, no anything. So it's a pass list only kind of thing, and then you're putting your team on the pass list, and it's going to be a unique experience. But you play the hand you're dealt.
We talked a little bit about today, kind of bring your own energy type
Yeah,
deal, right?
absolutely.
You're not going to have the roar of the crowd, and going back to the COVID situations. Um, well, Coach, I definitely want to wish you the best of luck this week, and hopefully next Monday when we talk, the Bears are 4-0 in the AAC, and definitely excited about these two guys coming up, Coach. They have a high bar to reach. Kean Warwick and Keenan Cutler did such a good job, but if any two guys who kind of challenge him, I believe he'll be number one, number 4 as well, Coach.
I think so. We can keep LA awake over there long enough for him to come on the TV. We'll be in good shape.
He's willing to talk about his shoe game and also a debate who may be the greatest player of all time in the NBA as well. We'll go back. We'll send it back to station for a break. We'll have L.A. Walker join us here on the Justice Broadcasting Network as we're inside the huddle with Coach Tigh Compton. Shaft Clark able to stop L.A., give him 8 points. We're tied at 78.
As you mentioned, 90 points per game last year.
L.A. Walker drives and scores. It probably would have been goaltending if I though by Peyton Burr, Indiana Wesleyan transfer. L.A. Walker gets Caden Johnson in the air, and that is his game. Caden Johnson would be better off letting him shoot the.
Here's Walker with it. Walker, a hard dribble. Beats his man off the glass up. And nice play.
And good help by Goins. Lucky not.
7-4 tonight. The Warwick is going to push. Walker on the wing. Gets the paint touch. All the way to the bucket. Tries to finish. L.A. Walker gives him 4 points. Charlie, the Bears regain the lead 52-51.
L.A. settling for.
Because he's comfortable. I mean, he'll take the contact and try to finish. L.A. on the night. This will be his first trip. He's 2 of 10 from the floor. So sometimes you're struggling with the floor. If you go to the free throw line and see the ball go through the bucket, right? Get a little.
Every time you can see go through the hoop, it gives you more confidence.
Blue will check in. Todd will check in. Cutler will check in if Walker misses free throws. It'll be Rigdon, Copley, Bunch, Todd, and Walker. And Cutler will check in L.A. Welcome back inside the huddle. Gary Justice with the shooting guard or forward. What is your official position here, L.A.?
I would say shooting guard.
Hang on just a second. We'll get you a little bit closer. You're a shooting guard?
Yes, sir.
You can get to the basket if you want to, right? So we had this debate whether or not it was a dunk. I forget if it was Florida Memorial Huntington. You saw it on the screen. It looked pretty good, didn't it?
To me, I believe that was a dunk.
Hey, you got the hops, right, L.A.?
Yeah, a little bit.
You got the hops. Good deal. So, guys, L.A. Walker, a senior from Columbus, Ohio. This is his second season part of the Bears. And L.A., the first question I have for you is kind of your route to the University of Pikeville. So, had 2 successful years at Ontario College out in Colorado. Kind of talk about that route to University of Pikeville for you.
So at the end of the year, last year, for my year at Otero, I got in touch with Coach Compton, and we had, I believe it was a Google little Zoom call, and I got a little virtual call, and like a virtual visit almost. Got to see the campus and talk to me about the stuff they had previous, and it just seemed like a good fit for me. And he had the best heart for me and family oriented type of system, and just felt comfortable for me.
Well, we're definitely so glad that you're wearing the orange and black. You've had a talented career so far at the University of Pikeville, second team all conference last year. I think you could have been, well, I can debate whether or not you should have been the first team as well, but definitely I'm glad you're part of the Bears basketball program. But before we go any further regarding basketball and professional career and that type of thing, let's talk about your shoe game. I had an opportunity to go to practice day, and you always got some. I don't want to sound like the old man in the room. I want to though, but you always got a pretty strong shoe game. Talk about your shoe game.
Honestly, it's my mom. Honestly, growing up, she always kept me in the nicest things, and that's kind of what I know now. Honestly,
Growing up, did you play any other sports besides basketball?
yes, I played football, ran track in middle school. That's about it.
So what about going back to your football days? What position did you play in football?
Wide receiver.
Okay, can you go get it?
Yes,
They also ran track.
yes.
Well, what events you run the track?
I ran the 400, but it was only for like 2 weeks. It was just something, just to get me out there, see what I would do.
So LA had an opportunity. The folks at home had an opportunity to speak to Rick Bentley's sport communication class, and LA is in that class, and definitely is. I was telling Coach Compton he was front row. He was active. He was participating as far as in class, but as far as degree wise, talk a bit about what your major is and kind of plans after graduation. LA.
My major is in communications, and honestly, what I really want to do, it doesn't involve communications, but I really want to have like a business, like a clothing business. And yeah,
So what sparked you that your desire to become vice part of the clothing business?
it's just been something that's been on my mind for the past 2, 3 years, but I just haven't took the right step forward for it.
Well, you gotta give yourself time too. Well's right. You have the opportunity to learn a lot of things, and that's one of the things about going to a small school like the University of Pikeville. A lot of the alumni base, we always have somebody there ready to go too. And it was funny too, LA, that when I had an opportunity to come and do the breakdown of the ball games and stuff, man, and the guys were kind of razzing a little bit, you and Brad, about being on the interview here. And that there's a certain question a lot of these guys want me to ask you. And I've kind of mentioned it to you, and I'm like, I don't know if those guys were setting me up for something like big time, but they said you're very passionate about who the greatest of all time is to play the sport of basketball. Now, you can look right, matter of fact, I'll put you on a close-up camera. You can give your debate on who the greatest player of all time is.
Me personally, I feel like LeBron Raymond James is the greatest player to ever touch the basketball. And I stand on that.
He definitely has a lot of stats to back it up, right? 10 straight final appearances. He got, 4 or 5 MVPs. He's won titles with, was it 3 different teams? Cavs, Heat, and the Lakers as well.
Top 10 in every stat, too.
Heck, this is year 21, 22 in the league.
23.
20, match the uniform number.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
there
Yes,
you
sir.
go,
Yes,
man.
sir.
So, LA, as far as for my closing question for you is favorite class on campus been so far?
I would say my sports communication class, honestly.
Are there anything particular about the sports communication class that makes it a favorite for you?
I say the environment in the class.
Yeah, Rick's a pretty good dude, right? I mean, he's one of those guys. He understands it. A lot of athletes in the room, also as well. I lied to you. I do have one more question for you. Far as go-to spot on campus for food, I mean, because you have the CAF, you have the Table 99, you have the Food Lab. I mean, you have a lot of different places you can go to. Chick-fil-A. What's your go-to?
It was Chick-fil-A before I ran out of bear bugs.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
now I've been in Table every now and then. I really ain't seen too much of the calf, but yeah, but Table 99.
So
For sure.
let's jump back. Let's say that L.A. Walker's Bear Bucks account has been loaded up a little bit, and you can go to Chick-fil-A. What's the go-to Chick-fil-A for you?
I usually get the classic chicken sandwich meal, or I'll go the deluxe spicy chicken sandwich meal.
Okay.
And sometimes I substitute the lemonade with a strawberry shake,
Now you're
no
talking.
cherry,
Now you're talking.
Polynesian sauce.
Well, that now see that's you've already got my heart now. If you're doing a little Polynesian sauce, are you dipping those fries in there? Dipping the sandwich in Polynesian as
Yes,
well?
sir. Yes, sir.
Now you can't pour it on top of it. He's got to dip it though, right?
I pour it.
Oh
I pour the
wow!
sauce before.
I haven't
yeah.
tried this one.
And,
Are you doing the pickle on the sandwich or no pickle?
Yes,
You
pickle.
don't do the pickle.
pickle,
I
pickle.
mean, if you're gonna go with the sandwich, you go with the pickle,
Add
right?
a little flavor to it.
So what about your favorite memory as far as the Bears so far? LA.
I say winning the conference championship last year. The first for me, so it's a different experience. I loved it. I had a good time playing good. It was fun.
Well, you're definitely, man. You were a fun player to watch to play the game of basketball,
Thank
and I'll debate anybody that was a dunk. Well, matter of
Yes.
fact, that's a big time throwdown as well too, LA. But we appreciate your time this evening, LA, and also as far as we want to wish you the best of luck the rest of the season. Also, will senior LA Walk Warriors number 4. So definitely, if you come out watch the home basketball game, kind of cheer on LA. We had a little conversation being from Columbus. I'm a Cleveland Browns fan. He may be or maybe not be a Cleveland Browns fan too. We can share that misery together, LA.
Yeah.
Awesome. L.A. Walker will next up in the hot seat be senior Brad Bunch. You're watching Inside the Huddle with Tigh Compton on the Justice Broadcasting Network.
Warwick's now with 10 to shoot. They dip it down low. Catch, shoot, and score. That time, that's Bunch. That's a
freshman from Chapmanville High. Bunch shot up, rattles around, shot. Badly Bunch third, made 3. Game high 14. Bears first lead tonight, Charlie.
First time, yep. Now they does.
Rams is at 20-12. Bunch has the basketball, gets all the way to the bucket. The floater shot up. The senior give him 5 points, Charlie. The dribble, Warwick pump fake. Bunch 3-point shot up. 3-point shot good. Bunch with his first bucket, Charlie. It's a big one.
Yeah, that
Top out to Bunch. Wysong hounding him as he goes left side, trying to back himself in. Turnaround jumper, baseline, yes. Off the Looney, near side, feeds it inside, Bradley Bunch. Bunch with a left-handed hook shot. It's so clutch.
Welcome back inside the huddle with Coach Tigh Compton. Now we have the 4th senior, Brad Bunch. Welcome to the program, Brad.
Thanks for having me.
Well, you're welcome, man. So the reigning AAC Player of the Year, All-American preseason, to repeat as Player of the Year, man, that is you put in a lot of work, man.
Yeah, it's been definitely a long grind for this is my 4th year of college. Yeah, it's definitely been a grind.
You know, when you start college, you think, man, it's going to take me forever to get through school, right? And then you get to that senior year, and you're like, whoa.
And where'd time go?
Where'd time go?
Yeah.
Exactly. So from Big Stone Gap, Virginia, Union High School, Brad, maybe the first question, same thing I asked LA is, kind of talk about your route to the University of Pikeville, Brad.
You know, recruited at a high school, and I didn't have a lot of offers or anything, and they just, I mean, it's the closest place to home that really recruited me, and I just got along with Coach Compton and the staff at the time, and it just kind of felt like Big Stone and Pikeville are very similar, so it felt like a home.
So in we talked about not recruited highly out of high school. It's not because you didn't have the accolades. Player of the year in the state of Virginia. And did your team win a state championship? Or
Yeah.
something? Yeah, won a
Yeah.
state championship. So a lot of colleges missed out, and I'm glad they did. I'm glad you ended up at University of Pikeville because I agree with you. Big Stone Gap and Pikeville, very similar. And I think if you have that comfort level, something that's far enough away from home, right, to have a little independence, but
Yep.
then also not, you're close enough where you can drive home as well too. So Brad, your fourth year part of the program with Coach Compton, you and Kean and Keenan all came in together. That is something that's really kind of unheard of now in the college basketball, where you have people staying 4 years. Talk about that relationship between you, Kean, and Keenan as well.
Yeah, we came in together, all coming in like as freshmen and just like getting to know each other, and we've built a great friendship. And those are guys I know I'm gonna be able to talk to for the rest of my life. And yeah,
Well, something that I've noticed about your game, and we'll do basketball a little bit, and I want to jump back to Big Stone Gap. Just the development of your 3-point shot. It is, I know your freshman year, it's the percentages have grown each year, but then also just your confidence in the shooting now. You'll shoot it in transition if you need to. How did you get better, become a better 3-point shooter?
just more reps and just getting more comfortable. And whenever you see those shots falling, it just you get in your head like, yeah, I can make this, and like, yeah, I'm going to make it. So you just gotta like always have a good mindset. And when they start falling, it feels great.
So let's jump back down to Big Stone Gap and that Wise, Virginia area. So they got this place over called Pals. Are you a Pals fan?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So what's your go-to at Pals?
I usually get the bacon, bacon Big Pal, and yeah, I'll get the bacon Big Pal with some Frenchy fries.
So that's what I want to say. I mean, it is you are if you're you've been to Pals if you call them Frenchy fries, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So you doing kind of sauce with it, ketchup?
Yeah, I don't really eat sauce because I mean the fries are so good. I don't think you need sauce with the fries.
You and I get along, Brad. That's for sure, man. But as far as going back to the basketball, I was going to maybe talk to you about the pressure that's on Brad Bunch. You've led this team for 4 years. You guys win the conference tournament. You've been to the national tournament all 3 years, right? Your freshman, sophomore, and junior year. Your sophomore year, all conference, player of the year, your junior year, your preseason pick to repeat as the player of the year. Does that put additional pressure on you, Brad?
Yeah, maybe a little bit, but I don't really get the pressure thing in my head too much. I don't really think of it like that. I just, keep doing the right things and just, everything will work out.
So growing up, do you play any other sports besides basketball?
Yeah, I played football and baseball.
Okay, so let's talk about positions. Let's start off with Friday night. So what position did you play?
I played quarterback.
Yeah.
I played quarterback for 3 years in high school.
Okay. Now, your brother still plays. He's a senior this year, is that right?
Yeah, he's a senior this year.
Is he a quarterback as well?
No, he plays wide receiver and defensive back.
He doesn't have an arm like you do, right? Yeah.
No, he's a little shorter too. So
We're throwing shots at him. He's not even here to take coverage, right? What about the sport of baseball position?
I pitched, and I whenever I played out in the field, I played center field.
So when you pitched, Union always had a pretty good baseball program, right?
Yeah, for my freshman year, we had a pretty good team, and then when COVID hit, a lot of people didn't really play as much. And my senior year, we were okay. We weren't the best, but we had fun.
So would you rather be throwing the baseball off the mound, or you'd rather be hitting the baseball?
I would rather be throwing the baseball. Hitting the baseball is way too hard.
Hey, there you go, man. I mean, I played baseball at the University of Pikeville many years ago, but I definitely like to be in control of the game a little bit.
Yeah, I agree.
So you had an interesting. There's a program, a little scroll at the bottom of the screen. Everybody can see at home. Favorite class, Brad?
Favorite class? Probably my Intro to Modern Latin America class I'm taking this semester.
Tell us more about it.
It's just like learning about like the countries and in Latin America, like you got like Brazil, and we learn like what their main products are in Brazil, and like Brazil's like coffee and all that stuff. Like coffee comes from Brazil, and yeah, it's just interesting to learn about other countries and where stuff comes from.
What about plans? First of all, what your uh, major, then also maybe your plans after graduation.
My
as well?
major is history, and right now I just want to try and play basketball as honestly as long as I can, if that's professionally overseas or whatever that leads me. But once that's over, I'm probably going to end up teaching and coaching, honestly.
Well, that was going to be my next thing. Usually, when you see the history majors and the education route, definitely probably you thought maybe about maybe becoming a coach, but that's also through coaching and knowing you the way that I do, um, I see that because you're a giver. You definitely like to serve others, and definitely coaching you can serve a lot of people.
Yeah, I agree. Ever since I was a kid, like I knew I probably wanted to be around sports for like the rest of my life because I mean that's all I really know is like growing up. That's all I really knew was sports. So yeah.
Well, Brad, as far as this will be my closing question for you here, and I asked LA this same question. As we already talked about the Frenchie fries
Yeah.
and pals, but if you're in Pikeville, you're on campus, what's your go-to food spot?
Table 99. Shout out to Paul. Paul is the best down there.
See, that makes a second shout out to Paul's God cause Keenan did the same thing. So what's your go-to? If Paul's in the kitchen,
If Paul's in the kitchen,
what are we going with?
it's the daily special on Thursdays, and it's like a buffalo chicken burger. It's like I don't even know how to describe it. It's just it's like buffalo. It's like a buffalo chicken burger. It's really good.
It's just as good, right?
It's so good.
Yeah, Keenan does. He said the same thing, man. He's like, hey, if depends on if Paul's working or not. He said,
Yeah,
if Paul's working, I'm going to table 99.
Yeah, if Paul's there, definitely table 99.
Awesome, man. Well, Brad, we're so happy that you're being a part of this program and what you've done to lay such a solid foundation. And the Bears off to a hot start this year. You guys 3-2 overall and 2-0 in conference. Big matchup on Wednesday with Mason Lockhart and the Johnson Royals.
Yep, it's gonna be a tough one. We know that, but I think we're gonna be fine.
Well, you know what? If I have L.A. Walker and Brad Bunch in my lineup, I like my chances as well.
Yes, sir.
So Brad Bunch Sr. with the University of Pikeville will send it back to the station for a short break. We'll have Tigh Compton come on for some closing comments. Where's number 1 for the Bears? So definitely you guys able to come out, take a look at Brad Bunch Sr. for the University of Pikeville. Watch Inside the Huddle with Tigh Compton. Welcome back inside the huddle with Tigh Compton and Coach. You talk about 2 good seniors, man, Brad Bunch and L.A. Walker.
Yeah, we've got an unbelievable senior class, and those 2 guys have been crucial to our program's success and a joy to be around and have had a great impact in our program. And, tell a quick story about Bradley. The first time that we'd ever watched Bradley play was here at our team camp in the summer going into his senior year. And we referee all the games at our team camp, our staff does. And I think Evan Faulkner, Coach Faulkner, was on the game during that time. And I forget what happened, but Bradley started mouthing off to Coach Faulkner during the middle of the game, and our first interaction with Bradley Bunch was Coach Faulkner giving him a technical in summer camp, summer basketball, and at that point in time, we really didn't know much about him, and hadn't had any plans on recruiting him. But that obviously changed really quickly after that. But we joke about that all the time, that our first interaction wasn't the best interaction, but thankfully we were able to make up some ground in the next 6 months or so.
Well, Coach, that makes we've had all four seniors on inside the huddle. And Coach, definitely four quality seniors. Three have been here for all 4 years, and LA come back for his second year. And you talk about guys you can build the foundation around. The four quality guys.
For sure, and those guys have all had a lot of experience. Kean, Keenan, and Bradley have played a lot of games here, a lot of really important games here. And then LA, having last year under his belt, it was a championship year, being second leading scorer in all conference. But also his junior college experience has been invaluable for us, and those guys have really helped kind of blaze a path for some of the younger guys that we've got right now contributing, and we rely on those guys for a lot. Not just the production on the court, but we rely on those guys for leadership. We rely on those guys for just everyday consistency. We expect those guys to be able to show the new guys the way, and some of the younger guys the way. And so far, it's been a really good experience for us.
Coach, this is chance for closing comments here about the upcoming week for the Bears.
Yeah, well, I'll start with Bradley really fumbled your question about pals, and he knows he knows this. He knows that like the key, the big bacon pal is the go-to. Whether it's a single or a double, but like he knows the key element to the Pal's burger that makes it the best fast food burger in the business, in my opinion, is that you got to get the fry salt on the burger. If you tell them to add the fry salt that comes on the Frenchy fries to the hamburger,
you're teaching me something.
It takes it over the top, and he knows that. We went over that. He's gotten that before. For him to omit such an important ingredient as the fry salt added to the burger, that's a huge omission by him.
That's something you've taught me something too, Coach.
Yeah,
I've been to Pals a few times, but I never had added the fry salt. I definitely will.
We were, obviously, go that way to recruit a lot of those guys. Keenan Cutlip, we were out that way, and Bradley, we were out that way. Connor Lane, who's been in our program in Twin Springs High School there in Virginia, we made a lot of trips over to see Connor, and there wasn't a single trip that went by that we didn't stop at Pals, either going or coming back, and maybe both, to be honest with you. So I would say that of all the meals, I worked with those guys, Coach Faulkner and Coach Christ, for several years, very, very long time. Evan, I think maybe 8 years. Sid, maybe 7 years. And there is certainly not a single meal on the planet that we have eaten together more than Pals. And we always stop.
And of course, now since the Bears been in the AAC, the conference tournament is played in Kingsport.
Oh, yeah.
You drive right by a couple different Pals.
Yeah, the first original one is there in Kingsport. So you can go in and order at that one. That's the only one that you can do that at. And can't sit inside and eat, but you can go in and order, and it's kind of set up a little old school diner style, drive-in diner style. So, but yeah, we don't miss Pals very often. We're going to make sure that we stop at those every chance we get.
And Pals, if you'd love to sponsor Inside the Huddle with Coach Tigh,
we would love for Pals to expand. Thankful that it expanded to Southwest Virginia in Wise, and we would love to see Pals come this way into Eastern Kentucky. We would make sure we kept the lights on for them.
So, Coach, you'll travel as we're. Of course, Monday you'll travel on Tuesday, practice, and then we're actually, I don't know if you'll practice and travel and practice, but then the shoot around on Wednesday, and you'll tip it on 7:30 on Wednesday, Coach, right?
Yeah, we'll go down and give it our best. That's what we ask our guys to do, is just we remind them that best is the standard, that we're constantly in a competition with ourselves to just change our daily best and try to achieve that every day. And again, if they work the way that they've been working the last several practices, we can feel good about going in and living with what happens. And, I think good preparation gives us a chance, and good preparation builds confidence in our guys. So, hitting the road, is something that we've already done 3 times and are going to do several times. The 10 games that we play in November, 7 of those 10 are either neutral site or away. So, unfortunately, we still got a lot of road to go. So, we're going to be out there as kind of road warriors here for the next few weeks, and our guys are mature enough and old enough that I think they can handle that.
Well, Coach, also, I know our ball club will be prepared for whatever the situation is, whether neutral side, on the road. Definitely, I'm highly impressed with this ball club this year, Coach, and your staff as well. Well, Coach, let's again. Hopefully next Monday we're talking. The Bears are 4-0. Wish you the best of luck this week. Safe travels as well too, and also everybody at home. We appreciate you guys tuning in to the Inside the Huddle with Coach Tigh Compton. My name is Gary Justice on the Justice Broadcast Network. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and please remember, it's always a great day to be a Bear.